Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome to the deep dive. So you sent us this really interesting article focusing on Rhodiola Rosea. It's an herb getting a lot of buzz lately.
It really is. Yeah. And, it feels like nowadays dealing with burnout, that kind of constant fatigue, stress.
Yeah.
It's almost just normal, isn't it?
Totally.
So people are definitely really looking for natural ways to, support themselves. And this herb, rhodiola, with its history, it's popping up everywhere in wellness talk.
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive, using the article you shared, is to really unpack it. We want to figure out, okay, what is Rhodiola Rosea according to this source? How does the article suggest it might tackle these modern challenges, stress, burnout, that kind of thing? And what's the science mentioned in the article saying about its traditional use and why it's so popular now?
Yeah, we'll get into the mechanisms the article talks about, like how it supposedly works in the body. Then the benefits it lists, energy, focus, stress resilience, and then the practical stuff from the source, like how to use it, any potential side effects or warnings it flags. It's all coming straight from that material you gave us.
Okay, let's dive in. The article kicks off by calling Rhodiola Rosea a natural adaptogen. Now, adaptogen, that word gets thrown around a lot. What does the source actually say it means here?
Well, the way the article puts it, an adaptogen is something that basically helps your body build up resilience. It's not just about masking a symptom.
Okay.
It's supposed to support your body's whole system for responding to stress. Could be physical, mental, emotional stress.
Yeah.
It's about helping you adapt, cope better, basically increasing your ability to handle tough stuff.
And the article points out this isn't some totally new thing, right? It has a long history before this current wave of popularity.
Exactly. Its use in different traditional practices kind of speaks to that long-term recognition of its potential effects.
Yeah.
And yeah, its comeback now, as the source highlights, is definitely tied to these widespread issues of chronic stress and, burnout that we see everywhere.
Which really brings us to why the article suggests it's so relevant now. It actually calls it a potentially powerful ally or maybe even a missing piece for mental wellness.
Yeah, that phrasing, it's interesting. It frames rhodiola not just as like a quick fix, but possibly something offering real foundational support for managing that kind of persistent stress a lot of people feel.
Right.
If stress and fatigue are just the background noise of life, then something that claims to help your body adapt fundamentally, like the article says adaptogens do, that becomes pretty appealing.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that then. How does the article say it actually does all this? What are the mechanisms it describes?
So the source lays out a few main ways it believes rhodiola works. One big one is its supposed ability to help regulate cortisol.
Ah, the stress hormone.
Exactly. The article calls it the primary stress hormone. And keeping its levels in check is apparently key because constantly high cortisol can just wear you down.
So it's about balancing that stress response system.
That seems to be the idea. Another mechanism the source mentions is supporting energy production, like right down at the cellular level.
Okay.
Specifically in the mitochondria, the cell's powerhouses. The article suggests rhodiola helps boost ATP synthesis. ATP is basically your cell's energy money.
Got it. More efficient ATP, better energy. Makes sense.
Right.
So that covers the energy claims. What about the mental stuff, the focus?
Well, the article connects that to a third idea, modulating neurotransmitters. Yeah. It suggests rhodiola might help balance key brain chemicals, things like serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine.
Ah, the mood and motivation chemicals.
Exactly. They play huge roles in mood, motivation, focus, thinking, all that.
So potentially tweaking the brain's messaging system.
That's the claim. And finally, the source also mentions it might act as an antioxidant and have neuroprotective qualities, sort of protecting neurons, reducing oxidative stress in the brain.
Oxidative stress, that's linked to stress and aging, right?
Yeah, that's the connection the article makes.
Okay, so if we bundle all that together, managing stress hormones, boosting cell energy, balancing brain chemicals, protecting neurons, the article says this results in a feeling of calm, focused energy. And it specifically says without that jittery overstimulation you get from, say, caffeine, that balance seems crucial.
It does. The source really emphasizes that kind of supportive balancing effect, not just a temporary jolt that leaves you crashing later.
Right. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for anyone thinking about this. The actual benefits the source describes. First one, Natural energy without the crash.
Yeah, this ties right back to that mitochondrial support we talked about.
Okay.
The article explains that by helping cells make energy, that ATP, more efficiently, rhodiola supposedly gives you sustained energy. It contrasts that with stimulants that just sort of, rev up your nervous system for a bit.
And the specific benefits the article lists are things like less fatigue, especially when stressed, better stamina for physical activity, and just more even energy through the day. It even mentions studies suggesting it could improve burnout and exhaustion symptoms noticeably in just a few weeks.
Yeah, that potential time frame, seeing improvements in burnout that quickly, that's definitely something the source highlights as a point of interest.
Then the next big claim, sharper focus and mental clarity.
So this links back to the neurotransmitter effects and managing cortisol. Especially, the article notes, when you're trying to concentrate under pressure or do really demanding mental work, it also throws in potentially enhancing blood flow to the brain.
And the results the source points to are things like, well, better focus, better attention span, improved memory, maybe faster reaction times,
Right.
which could be really helpful in those high-pressure moments the article talks about.
Exactly. Helping your brain work better when it's under load. That's the idea.
And then the core concept, that adaptogen power, how it helps with stress.
Right, this brings us back to the definition. The article really hammers home that its main role is supposedly helping the body manage its response to stress, building resilience, not just masking the symptoms.
And for mental well-being, the benefits the source mentions include potentially reducing symptoms of anxiety or depression, making you more resilient overall to stressors, and helping stabilize your mood. And it points to research suggesting it can lower high cortisol while promoting calm, and this seems key without making you drowsy.
Yeah, that specific combo, less stress hormone impact, but staying alert, that's something the article really flags as characteristic of rhodiola's adaptogenic effect, supposedly.
Okay, so someone reads this article, they're thinking, maybe this could help me. What does the source say about actually using it? Practicalities.
Right. The article gives some practical pointers. It suggests a typical dosage range daily, usually somewhere between 200 and 600 milligrams.
Okay, 200 to 600 milligrams. And timing matters, you said, because of that energy boost.
It seems so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the article generally suggests taking it in the morning, often like maybe 30 minutes before you eat.
Before food.
Yeah. And the advice to avoid it later in the day is specifically to steer clear of potential sleep issues, tying back to that potential energy effect.
Makes sense. And the source mentions something specific to look for when you're actually buying a supplement. Like, not all rhodiola is the same.
Yes, this is a really important detail from the article. It strongly recommends looking for a standardized extract.
Standardized, okay.
Meaning it's tested to contain specific amounts of the key active compounds. The article names 2, 3% rosamins and 1% salidroside. It suggests these compounds are the main drivers behind the benefits seen in the studies it references.
Got it. So it's not just rhodiola, it's about getting an extract standardized for those specific things, rosavins and salidroside.
Precisely. Quality control, essentially.
Yeah.
And the source adds other practical tips, too, like, start with a lower dose to see how you tolerate it, and obviously choose a reputable brand.
Right. Always good advice. Now, the article sounds pretty positive overall, but it does cover potential downsides, too, right? Side effects, precautions.
Yes, definitely. And it's important, as the article points out, that while it seems generally well tolerated for most people, there are potential mild side effects.
Like what?
The source lists things like maybe some dizziness or dry mouth, or potentially feeling a bit irritable or overstimulated, especially if the dose is too high for you.
Okay, mild stuff mostly. But are there situations where the article says, definitely don't take it or be really careful?
Absolutely. The source is quite clear here. It advises against using it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Standard advice for many supplements. It also includes a specific caution for people with bipolar disorder, suggesting rhodiola might potentially trigger manic episodes.
Oh, that's important.
Very. And crucially, the article really stresses talking to your doctor before starting it, especially if you're already taking other medications because of potential interaction.
Always consult a doctor. Good reminder. Okay, so as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, focusing just on the article you cited us about Rhodiola Rosea.
Yeah, well, based purely on the source material, Rhodiola Rosea comes across as a, seemingly well-researched natural adaptogen, one that shows potential for boosting natural energy, sharpening focus, and helping build resilience when you're under pressure.
And the article sort of presents it as a potential tool, right? Suggesting that if you're dealing with burnout, crazy deadlines, or just feeling like you're not bouncing back like you used to, Rhodiola might be something to look into, based on the information provided here, to support your body and brain's ability to cope.
Yeah, it offers it up as like a possible piece of the puzzle for handling the toll of modern life stressors, cognitively and physically.
So, thinking about everything the source covered, how it describes rhodiola possibly influencing stress hormones like cortisol, boosting energy right down at the cellular level with mitochondria, balancing brain chemicals. What does that whole picture suggest to you about supporting our overall resilience? It seems like the article highlights how interconnected these systems are. Maybe tackling these foundational areas together is more effective than just trying to fix one symptom, like just feeling tired or just feeling stressed.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.